Good morning, everybody. Dylan Abel here with Windrock. I thank everybody for taking some time today to sit with us and join this webinar. Got a good slide deck put together. Going to kind of go through 6400, the portable analyzer, some of its background, its history, lots of its tools and features, and then we're going to do a live demo of the newest feature, which is our 6400 Enterprise dashboard. Then we'll go through some of the dashboard features and components and value. So let's get started with the presentation here. Okay, so getting started with the presentation here. It's going to be on the 6400 Portable Analyzer Enterprise Dashboard. I've got Eric Vess here with me. As we're going through this presentation, you should be able to ask questions, raise your hand or ask questions from your dashboard there for the webinar. Eric will be behind the scenes answering questions as they come in. So a little background about Eric. He's been with Windrock for about 7 years now. He's worked various positions. He came in as a product support technician and has been in various roles to include, he's been an equipment analyst out in the field, taking data with the portable analyzer, doing analysis and reports. He's been an online systems engineer, commissioning our Platinum and OnGuard online systems. Most recently, he became the field services manager. This is a crucial role for Windrock. He is responsible for overseeing the daily operations and overall success of our field service team. That includes both the analysts and the online systems engineers. He trains customers on products, develops and trains Windrock employees on installations, supervises online systems, as well as the team of analysts. Eric has a bachelor's degree of information technology, multiple Windrock qualifications, certificates for engine and compressor analysis, as well as he's an ISO certified Category 1 vibration analyst. So Eric's here. He's sitting right beside me. He will be answering questions in the background as they come in. Myself, I've also been with Windrock about 7 years now. Me and Eric started within a few months of each other with the company. Like Eric, I've been online systems engineer, tech services manager, and most recently a product manager. I've got an MBA from Tennessee Tech and then a mechanical engineering degree from Chattanooga. A little outline of what we're going to cover today. We'll go through a little bit of Apergy and Windrock, our company's background, some history of the portable analyzer itself. We'll go through a little bit of the analyzer kit, some of the tools and features that are offered with various kits and some of their applications. And then lastly, we'll go through the enterprise dashboard benefits, as well as have a live demo of how to set up the dashboard, upload data, and view that data within Enterprise. So kind of starting off here, who is Apergy? Apergy used to be part of Dover Corporation. It's made up of about 15 or 16 opcos. This is just kind of a list of the Apergy companies. You can see some of them are as old as the 60s and 70s, and then some of them were acquired more recently. You can see that the mixture of these companies plays across the oil and gas industry from upstream to downstream. Apergy's present across the well site. Windrock falls into the automation technologies section. So we've got our IoT-enabled technologies, optimization software, and remote monitoring. So a little bit of the Windrock history. Windrock started off as part of CSI, which is now owned by Emerson. In 1996, a few of the employees bought out that portion of the company and started Windrock. We're up to the 4th generation of the portable analyzer. There's 6300, 6310, 6320, most recently, as of 2016, the 6400 portable analyzer. You can see it, portable analyzer's the top product there on the right-hand side. We also have our online monitoring systems. We have our 1st generation, which was the OnGuard system. It was followed by the Auto Balance for continuous automatic engine balancing, and most recently our Platinum system, which displays truly live continuous data. And then we have our permanently installed analytics systems, which is Spotlight. We have both Spotlight for the compressor, Spotlight for a high-speed engine, and then we have our newest, which is Spotlight Engine Data Link. So Windrock's vision statement, we empower our customers to gain insight into asset health and performance through digital transformation. And our mission is to innovate leading-edge digital technologies and solutions to deliver actionable intelligence from industrial assets within a robust ecosystem. Some of the Windrock differences or differentiators, one of those is engines. Most of the other analysis companies do not cover engines. They don't have vibration systems or auto balances for engines themselves. Portable analysis. We've got one of the only portable analyzers that kind of is the all-in-one. It does vibration, it does pressure, ultrasonic, temperature, just all in one. Common platform, we've got Windrock Enterprise and Windrock MD software. Both of those softwares allow you to bring in data from the multiple types of products we offer. Training, we offer various training programs for compressors, engines, vibration, diesel. We have, and then last, we're technology leaders, embracing new technology, marry our 30 years of development and expertise. So a little more about some of the solutions that we offer. First is the Platinum Online Monitoring Platform. This is a permanently mounted online system. It would go in a stainless steel cabinet out next to the engine or compressor. It has built-in relays for machine shutdowns. It has truly continuous live data. The data is updating on HMI or computer live real time. In-depth performance analysis. It can be used with auto balance. We'll install fuel valves, automated fuel valves out on the engine, and it will adjust those fuel valves to keep the engine in equilibrium based on the peak firing pressure. And it can help support economic decision making. Below that is the newest product, which is Spotlight. It's an IoT technology enabled product. Data's digitized and sent and stored in the cloud. Has real-time visibility to all assets. So with Platinum, you can kind of see that one machine that it's installed on. With Spotlight, now that all the data is stored in the cloud, you can see, say, 100 machines at once. So you can compare and contrast those machines against one another for benchmarking. Quick and easy installation on site. Compressor, 4-throw compressor, we can install in just a couple hours. Say a 12-cylinder engine may take half a day to 6 hours. Low cost installation. There's no need for a project. You don't need to run conduit. It's ready to install whenever we ship it. Monitor key mechanical conditions and gives you the ability to see data remotely since it's cloud-based. 64 100 portable analyzer, which we're going to talk about today. Mechanical analysis, machinery performance. It is now IoT enabled. You can send data up to the cloud. Unmatched portable data collection can analyze more than 1,000 diagnostic checkpoints. Last is our software. We have Windrock Enterprise, centralized diagnostics reporting system, complete transparency. As I mentioned, you can now compare and contrast your entire fleet against one another. Built-in AI currently for leak index, or leak, suction and discharge leaks. Then we have periodic status and customized reports. So where are our systems used? This is how we've kind of learned that most customers break down their assets between critical, essential, and then other or non-essential. For us with our products, the critical assets tend to use platinum because they're assets that are critical to day-to-day operations that would require a shutdown to avoid a catastrophic failure if there was an issue. For the essential, kind of just your everyday runabouts would be your Spotlight teamed up with your portable analyzer. So you would install Spotlight on all those essential assets, get all that data remotely. Windrock Enterprise would let you know where you need to go, which machine you need to look at that day, and then you could use the portable analyzer for your in-depth analysis if needed. So this is just kind of a timeline of the portable analyzers. Back in the 1990s and 2000s, had the 6300, the recip trap, the beta trap. Between 2000 and 2008, we had the 6310, and then the recip trap was still there. 2009 to about 17, 18, 6320. And then most recently in 2016, we released the 6400 portable analyzer. So now we'll kind of get into the differences between the 6320 and 6400. There's some of the new features that were included in the newer design. So as far as utility and design, the 6400 is smaller, lighter. It's got a more intuitive user interface, brighter screen so you can see it in the daylight. It has one transport case. Those of you that had the 6320, you can remember probably carrying multiple cases through the airport. It's all in one now. Multi-language support, software selectable wireless channels for the encoder. Efficiency and safety, less for us means less time on the machine. Got integrated ultrasonic and infrared sensor, remote trigger on that sensor. One unit for the encoder for all crank angle inputs, and then strobe light connects to the analyzer now. For performance, we've got increased processor speed and increased memory. Data capture is the previous. It's compatible with Windrock Enterprise, improved vibration filtering, improved ultrasonic sensor, and higher FFT, Fmax, and lines of evolution. Cost to upkeep, some of the older electronics in the 6320 prone to failure. And then challenge and support may require additional care costs for those 6320s. So now looking at a 6320 PA versus 6400 PA for data collection. We took data with both analyzers on these three machines here, on a Waukesha 7042, a Caterpillar JGD4, and then a Waukesha 7044 and a Superior compressor 4th row. You can see the differences in time savings there between the 6400 and 6320. On the first one, we were able to collect data 32% faster. On the Caterpillar, 38% faster. On the last one there, 20% faster. So on average, you know, the 6400, as far as your timeout on the machine, the data collection within the routes is on average, you know, maybe 28, 30% faster. So now we'll kind of step into just some of the tools and devices that are used with the 6400 now. really a predictive tool. You go out, capture data, then you've got to analyze it and know what those dynamic curves mean. What's the data? Mainly used on engines and compressors. Most of the typical data collected is the cylinder pressures, temperatures, vibration, ultrasonic. Some of the smart sensors are ultrasonic, strobe, and vibration. So kind of just going through each piece of the kit here. The shaft encoder, it's got wireless transmitter, and the analyzer needs to be configured to the same channel, and then you'll have that wireless link to send your speed from the encoder to the analyzer. It now has a simulator mode for testing, and then it's got various channels that can be selected to avoid interference from other plant equipment. Angular velocity test point can now be collected either wirelessly or with the encoder cable. The encoder cable is sold as an optional cable. Other once per turn devices, of course, we've got the optical sensor and then the mag pickup. Both these methods work well to provide a once per turn sync reference by tracking the revolution of the reflective reference, such as a hole, pin, or the reflective. Moving on to different types of cables we offer. Two of the standard cable types, multi-purpose, the white in there are for pressure, ultrasonic, probe, proximity. Vibration with the red end is for accelerometer, mag pickup, velocity. And then optional cables is secondary ignition clip, which is the blue end with the alligator clip there. Strobe light. Strobe light's a smart sensor, can be plugged into any channel. Sync the encoder with TDC mark on the flywheel. Press one of the two black adjustment buttons to speed up or slow down the light. The TDC or the timing light will only flash if you're in a machine. Timing light will stop flashing when you enter a collection point. You want to see the flash while the collection point is unplugged. The timing light will need to plug it back in. Primary ignition here. Primary ignition pickups used to capture and accurately measure primary ignition voltage when access is readily available. Something to note is due to the design of most of the newer engine packages, this is not always accessible. You can measure up to 500 volts with built-in 100 to 1 attenuator. Secondary ignition, calibrated secondary ignition capacitive clip is used to measure the secondary ignition voltages. The attenuation is 10,000 to 1 with a 50 kilovolt measurement range. The capacitive clip flipped around the spark plug wire. One of the differences between the 6320 and 6400 is spark collection. Now you'll see only the detailed spark trace in real time, be able to view the ionization voltage arc and timing of this ignition spark. The alligator clip may be connected to the engine ground, but is not usually necessary. Engine pressure transducer. This is where you can collect your peak firing pressures on those slow speed integrals or diesels. 4 to 20 milliamp strain gauge pressure sensor. Comes with air cooling. You can see the fins on it there in the picture. Can be used for high temperature applications such as a diesel. Typical range is 0 to 500 psi. It's important to note that you should always zero the engine pressure sensor prior to taking data and periodically during data collection to compensate for thermal shift. Next is the compressor pressure sensor. This is where you can take your pressure traces and your PV cards. It's a standard pressure sensor used with 6400 compressor pressure measurement for extended periods of time. This device outputs 4 to 20 milliamp electrical signal that is directed to the analyzer. The pressure transducer is typically connected to a Keeney valve or other indicator valve type on the compressor cylinders. We offer different ranges depending on the pressure of the cylinder due to different stages. So we offer 300, 500, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, and 5,000 range sensors. We also have our accelerometers. This is where you can get your high frequency and raw vibration. It converts mechanical or physical movement of the sensor itself into an electrical signal, which is proportional to the actual movement or vibration of the component being measured. It's typically placed on several test points on both engines and compressors, and is usually held in place using a flat magnet. We offer 100, 50, and 10 millivolt per G accelerometers. It's important not to drop the accelerometer or just slap it onto a test point. Also, you want to avoid overheating the sensor itself. Kind of a general rule of thumb for the accelerometers, if it's too hot to touch, then it should be cooled down before taking data again. Velocity probe converts a mechanical or physical movement into an electronic signal, which is then converted to the analyzer to reflect actual movement or vibration. Output is in inches per second velocity. Its output can be accurately integrated to displacement for measurement of components vibrating at relatively low frequencies. It's typically used in FFT collection. We offer 100 millivolt per inches per second sensitivity. Next is the ultrasonic and infrared sensor. This is where we've combined the ultrasonic and IR into one sensor. This really helps with the routes out in the field. This is where we really get into some of our faster data collection. We currently have a gain adjusted in the utilities menu on 6400. We're working to be able to store a gain setting with each sensor point. Here's just kind of a quick example of some of the ultrasonic data. You can see a healthy cylinder there at the top. You can see bridge adjustments that are needed. Slightly late intake valve closures. You see a trace there with no exhaust blowdown. Extremely early exhaust valve closure. Another option with the 6400 is a VA, the vibration option. Provides the ability to collect additional vibration types of data used in FFT or spectrum analysis, such as orbit plots. Furthermore, it allows for easy data collection off of Bentley style panels. So some of the applications for the portables are those slow speed integrals, whenever you're wanting to keep one in balance, monitoring motor driven compressors, high speed engine driven compressors, rotating equipment, mechanical equipment, and then diesel engines. So this slide kind of goes through some of the different product applications. You can see across the top different models of the 6400 we offer, from a combustion analyzer, maintenance, vibration, performance, and then the various diesel. I'll just kind of leave this slide up here for a second and let you guys view it. It's just kind of compares and contrasts the different analyzers. Okay, so now we'll move into a couple of the applications. We'll just look at a handful of them here. First, we'll look at engine balancing with a 6400 CA. It comes, you'll pretty much need the analyzer, the engine pressure transducer, and then your ignition cables for your spark survey. So this is taking data for balancing. You're mainly interested in your peak firing pressure data, so you can adjust the manual valves to keep the engine in equilibrium. This is a screenshot of the actual 6400 screen. While it's taking data, you can see we've got our stat box pulled up there, so we can see our deviations in peak firing pressure as well as our peak firing angles. Moving on to those motor and engine driven compressors. A lot more data to be taken on a compressor. So we'll be looking at our in-cylinder pressures, our temperatures, vibration, ultrasonic. You can see in the pictures there, lots of the tools that are used with the analyzers to collect this data. This slide is kind of showing just some of the typical areas where we collect data. You can see in this first picture here, we've got our Keeney valve with our pressure sensor, so we can get that head in and crank in pressure. And then you can also see we have an accelerometer out on the head end of the compressor, so we can look for impacts and movements of the cylinder. Put an accelerometer over our crosshead so we can look for those internal impacts of the crosshead moving back and forth. Want to get our acceleration and velocity on the frame. So we'll take a point about mid-level of the frame in line with the crankshaft. And then we'll use our ultrasonic sensor on the compressor cylinders, on the valves, looking for those leaks. And then this again is showing an accelerometer on the valve as well as ultrasonics. So now those slow speed reciprocating engines and compressor intervals. Once again, this is where you can take your engine data, so you can balance the engine off of pressure, take your vibration ultrasonics, primary and secondary ignition, take your pressure on your compressor cylinders, temperatures, vibration, and ultrasonic. So rotating equipment, kind of a problem or need is customers got our analyzer, but they also want to monitor screw compressors along with their recip compressors. Solution, they would need to collect frequency-based vibration data. We can do this with the 6400. Also fulfill rotating needs, screw compressors, auxiliary equipment, water and oil pumps, turbochargers. There's really no need for another analyzer. Diesel analyzer. Of course, with diesel, there's no spark and we're seeing much higher pressures. Here is a diesel kind of example from a Wärtsilä, where we're taking the pressure. This slide, again, this kind of goes through and compares our different diesel offerings from a dual channel engine analyzer to a single channel to a combustion analyzer and vibration. You see different numbers of channels you get there and different tools that you get. Once again, I'll give you just kind of a second to look over this slide. So now, finally, probably what everybody's been waiting on is 6400 Enterprise dashboard. So let's jump right into it. So kind of how it works, 5 simple steps. First, of course, you've got to take data with a portable analyzer out in the field. Same steps as you always do. Number 2, you move that data over to your computer using Windrock MD. Third step, you log into Windrock Enterprise and set up that machine in Windrock Enterprise. 4, you'll use the MD to Enterprise bridge application to upload that data from Windrock MD to Windrock Enterprise where you'd previously set up this assets. And then 5, you can monitor and analyze assets in Windrock Enterprise. So now let's go through these steps. Obviously not going to take data in the field. I've already got a database. I've moved it to my computer in Windrock MD. So let's just go through these steps of how we would set up a machine and upload that data. Okay, so we've got Windrock Enterprise over here. I am going to log into Windrock Enterprise. Okay, so now we've logged into Windrock Enterprise. We can see we have our different dashboards here. We have a new 6400 dashboard. We'll let it load up here. Okay, so we can see I have already created Dylan's 6400 portable analyzer here. So now what I want to do is go through and create a new asset with this analyzer. So I'm going to edit Dylan 6400. We can see I went in, I've got my 6400. Dylan 6400 portable analyzer. It's made by Windrock. It's a 6400. I just made up a serial number. I've got Dylan's asset, or this could be Dylan's route, whatever we wanted to call it. And so now here I can add a new machine. So I'll go to add new. Sorry, I'll go to add new. So this is where I will add a new machine. So we'll pretend like I just took data on a Clark HR8. So I will call this Windrock. We will give it just a fake serial number. The make is Clark. Model is HR-A-8. An integral. And then we'll give it a location. So you can drag this to wherever that actual machine is located. So now under my analyzer, I have added this new Windrock machine. I will update my analyzer. And then give me 1 second. Let me share my other screen with you. Okay, so let me back up just 1 second here. We had a question come in. What was the step to create Dylan 6400? So I skipped over that because I already had it created. But if you didn't have one created, you would just go to Assets and click New. And this is where we could create another 6400. So it's Eric's here. We'll do Eric's 6400 analyzer. What type of product is it? It's a 6400. We'll pretend like this is his serial number. His analyzer is made by Windrock. It's a 6400. We could drag this to Knoxville. We'll just say his analyzer's here and hit submit. We'll hit next. Here I can add a new, and I can call this Eric's. Eric's assets. Hit submit. Select Eric's assets for his 6400. Hit next. And now this is where I could start adding equipment or adding assets, machines for Eric's 6400. So that's how you can add a 6400 as well as add equipment to it. So now give me 1 second and I will share my other screen with y'all. You can see my other screen. Okay. Okay, so now to upload the data, we have this program called MD to Enterprise Bridge. It comes up and it asks you, do you want to sync a compressor, a high-speed engine, an integral? Some new tabs are coming. You can sync a pump. You could do a spark survey. Those are coming soon. For the example we're doing, it's an integral, so we will sync an integral. I'll choose my Windrock demo, this database, click OK. And what it's doing right now is it's actually accessing your MD databases that are on that laptop. It automatically selects all the trend points with that machine. If for some reason you didn't want to upload them all, just like an MD, you can select them and then send them back over here. I'm going to upload all of them. Click OK. So then this box comes up, 6400. You can see there's Dylan's 6400 portable analyzer. And we'll select Windrock because this is the machine I just created. And I'll hit sync. And then it tells me the asset data has been successfully uploaded. I'll say OK. I will exit out of this program. And then let me go to the other screen. See Enterprise now? Okay. So now we're back over here with our Windrock Enterprise. I will go to Dylan's 6400 portable analyzer, click on Asset Details. Now I'm drilling down into the data that I've collected with this portable analyzer. Now I'm looking at Dylan's portable analyzer here. Before, whenever I was on this screen, I can view the whole fleet. So I've got Dylan's portable analyzer. If I zoomed out, we can see Eric's portable analyzer. You can see your entire company's, everybody's portable analyzers in one place. So now I've drilled down into Dylan's portable analyzer. Now we know that we just uploaded an integral. So if I click integrals, we'll be able to see that data that we just uploaded. And here it is. So here's the Windrock machine that we just created. Here's the data that I uploaded. And each of these data points is a previous timestamp worth of data that was in that database. So now I can compare my horsepower, my COVs, my average peak firing pressures between these two integrals. So this was another test that I did earlier. So now if this was two different machines in the field, I can compare and contrast these KPIs, high-level KPIs between these two machines. If I wanted to drill down into this data, I can click here, go to Analyze. It'll open up another screen where I have all the trend points here. So every trend point that I collected data on is here. We'll just select a few of these, tell it to plot, and so tell it to go back to last year, and now I can start trending this data that I've collected, and I can put my cursor over and it will update the current values for these points. So now we've gone through, we created a portable analyzer. Up under that portable analyzer, we created a machine. Then we went into the bridge program and we uploaded that machine to the cloud, and now we viewed that machine within the enterprise dashboard. So now let's get back to the presentation here. So kind of just going back, just to recap here how it works. Take the data with the portable analyzer in the field, move that data to your computer using Windrock MD. We went into Windrock Enterprise. We set up both the portable analyzer, then we set up the asset or the machine. We used the bridge tool and we uploaded the data to the cloud for that asset. And then we went in and we were able to monitor and analyze that asset. So now we'll move into some of the benefits and value that you get from using this Windrock Enterprise dashboard. First one here is, we're working to get data from all of our products into one dashboard. So where we're at right now on our journey is we've got spotlight data for compressor, high-speed engines, and engine data link. All that data is going into Windrock Enterprise. We're able to bring the portable analyzer data into Windrock Enterprise. And our last project is going to be bringing platinum data into the dashboard. So right now we're kind of at two of our three main products all going to one dashboard. So this gives you the ability to compare and contrast data from those different products in one place. You get fleet management, as I showed you for those two there. Here's another example where I've got about 7 machines here. I can compare and contrast these 7 machines within my fleet against one another. This is just for intervals. I could have engines, compressors, pumps. There's going to be a spark survey. So now I can start looking at all the data that I'm collecting with my portable analyzer for different assets. I can compare and contrast those against one another in one place. This will really help a reliability program optimize the analysis schedules of their fleet and ensure all assets are being analyzed per the predetermined interval, whether it's monthly or quarterly or yearly. You can start looking at territories. Maybe an analyst has too many assets in his territory. He can't get to them in time, all within 1 month or 1 quarter. Down here, you can start to see how many compressors, engines, integrals, and pumps were uploaded and when they were uploaded. So this can help determine and configure an analyst's territory so they can most efficiently sample all their assets without overworking an employee. Next is data storage. We've talked to many customers that they've got years and years worth of analyst data for different assets that they have trouble storing all this data in one place so that everybody can access it over time. So with this option, all that data is stored in the cloud. Other than the data, it gives a place that an analyst can upload any kind of documentation, whether it's a project file, a report, maybe it's schematics or drawings. You can see in the dashboard here, there's an area where you can upload schematics, drawings, reports, whatever you want for that actual asset. So it gives you a place to store all the data for one machine in one area that any of the analysts can then access it. Next one is shared data. Once again, all the data is in the cloud. It's all in one area. You could have an analyst in California remotely go into the dashboard and download an analyst data from Tennessee to help him with his report or to share setups or configurations. The data is bi-directional. It can go from enterprise to the portable or vice versa. This allows, one of the big things is it allows setups and configurations to be shared across the analyzers for efficiency. Have compliance management. The dashboard's tracking when assets are being analyzed and how often they're being analyzed. This allows a manager and the analyst himself to make sure they're working effectively and analyze each asset in their territory. You've got the high-level KPIs that show up in the dashboard. You've got the number of uploads per quarter. This could be changed to monthly, yearly, quarterly, whatever it needs to be for a company or customer. The number of assets that have been analyzed, and then we break that number down into how many compressors, how many engines, how many integrals, and then alarms can be set up. We'll get to the alarms here in just a few minutes. Okay. So once you set up alarms, once you upload a new set of data, those alarms will populate. If something is an alarm, it will let you know right at the KPIs. As we just talked about, here's alarms. You can set up both high and low warnings and alarms. They can be configured within the dashboard per asset. Once new data set's uploaded, if something's an alarm, it will quickly let you know. This is kind of the alarm setup part of the dashboard. We're working on, you can put in delays, hysteresis, multiple options. We're working on and or alarms will be ready very soon, so you can get into some of your higher level alarming functions. Next is kind of just the asset framework. We've got lots of customers that are working towards getting all their data into their PI system. One of the big problems with the analyzer is it's typically stored within Windrock MD. The only way to really get it out is to use Microsoft Excel, which doesn't help a whole lot. Now with the data being able to go to the cloud, data goes from your portable analyzer where you collect it in the field, upload it to Windrock MD, send it to the cloud, and then we can create an API to go to your OSI PI historian. So now just kind of conclusion slide. I'll go through this and we'll see if we have some time for some questions. Portable analyzers had many improvements, both hardware and software over the years to really help streamline the data capturing process, help it be faster, more efficient, keep the analyst off of the compressor engine deck as much as possible. The newest analyzer has many tools, use cases, various applications throughout the industry. And Windrock Enterprise can now be utilized to view and analyze data captured from analyzers across the company and the fleet. So I know we've covered quite a bit today. Eric's been watching him here answer questions as fast as possible. I think we've got about 10 minutes left. See what questions haven't been answered. Try to answer a few of those, and then we'll kind of wrap up here. So one of the questions that came in is, does it have the ability to compare brake-specific fuel consumption per unit? Yes, the KPIs that we showed for the integral, where you were able to see the average peak firing pressure, the COV, those KPIs are configurable. So we could change one of those KPIs to brake-specific fuel consumption. And then on that screen, let me show you. Right here, one of these could be brake-specific fuel consumption, and then you'd be able to quickly see across your fleet what is the brake, how has it been trending over time. What other questions do we have, Eric?
We have a question here. Let me take a look here. Yeah, currently, I don't show.
No questions. All right. I guess Eric's not showing any questions right now.
The primary ones we had.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. Oh, 1 second. Looks like one question. Nope. Okay.
Yeah.
So no questions, it looks like. So we'll kind of wrap up here. I want to say thanks everybody for taking the time out of your day to join us and staying with us throughout the entire webinar here. We're going to keep trying to do these every couple months. So be looking in maybe late January or February. We'll be able to have another webinar and get everybody together, show you a new product or features or functions, whatever we got that's new at the time. So thanks everybody for joining us and have a good weekend. Thanks.